Generative AI is a transformative technology, but by the very nature of its performance and its use, it's going to ask a lot of questions in terms of medical ethics. So let us look at a few of these issues and see how they can be addressed. So some of the key issues are that large language models like GPT or Gemini, there's a lot of potential for misuse in terms of medical decision making. And this calls for careful regulation, constant updates, and ethical guidelines to ensure that AI use remains safe and effective. Like most healthcare data, privacy and data security are major issues, and the use of LLMs in medical contexts involves sensitive patient data, which requires robust data protection. But clearly, there is a lot of data protection already inbuilt in terms of digital health, so that could be repurposed for use in LLMs. But there is growing focus on improving LLM safeguards, such as grounding them in real-time databases to reduce the risk of hallucinations. If you have seen the way we have looked at accessing the medical database by clinicaltrials.gov, you could have seen that the answers were grounded in information present only in that particular database. There is also need for human oversight in AI-driven clinical decisions due to the current limitations in handling nuanced ethical dilemmas, which is why we would recommend to have always a human in the loop and use the LLM mostly to generate the first draft of the response. Clearly, this is a technology which is in its infancy, and future research will likely continue to focus on the potential roles of AI in healthcare, because we need to balance innovation with the ethical imperative to prevent harm. We also know that generative AI can generate a lot of false content or medical disinformation. And some LLMs have been known to generate false content at a high rate. And the generated disinformation was found to be highly persuasive, often featuring fake references and testimonials aimed at different demographics. So I can make out that there is a dangerous potential for AI to spread harmful health information. There's an urgent need for strict regulation, increased transparency, and routine audits to prevent LLMs from spreading health disinformation at scale. Also, we know that disinformation spreads faster and has a more profound impact than accurate information. If you have seen the vaccine or anti-vaxxers spreading misinformation about vaccines, LLMs pose similar serious risks to public health, especially when you have vulnerable populations like cancer patients. So developers should implement effective guardrails, such as specialized models, and to screen for inappropriate content before release, and align them with human values. Now, all this is easier said than done. So we need to look at and see what are the authoritative bodies, like the WHO is talking about, what is the kind of guidance they are giving on the ethics and governance of artificial intelligence for health. So I was able to find this article on, which was published by the WHO in 2021, but this was issued before the launch of ChatGPT, which was launched in November 2022. And actually, this document does not even mention generative AI. But I found the principles are still sound and applicable to generative AI. So the key takeaways from the guidance are, they talk about 6 key ethical principles, which is to protect human autonomy, promote human well-being, ensure transparency, foster responsibility, ensure inclusiveness, and promote sustainability. In terms of protecting human autonomy, the AI system should not undermine human control in healthcare, and humans must remain the decision makers in medical systems and processes. ensuring patient privacy and informed consent. The AI system should promote human well-being and safety and avoid harm. There has to be rigorous testing to meet regulatory standards, ensuring accuracy and preventing physical or mental harm amongst patients. We have to ensure transparency and explainability. That means that all AI systems should be transparent and understandable by users, regulators, and patients. This is not always true because some of the proprietary systems, such as the ones promoted by OpenAI, which is GPT, and Google's Gemini, are essentially closed or black box systems, and they're not at all transparent. But some of the other open models, like the ones presented by Meta, like Llama 3, those are open source, and we can understand some of it. Although I must say that it requires a lot of skill and expertise to understand the way the model works. Of course, there should be clear documentation of the AI system's design and capabilities. There should be clear responsibilities established for the use of AI in healthcare. And I'm sure that many of the hospitals and healthcare systems will have policies governing the use of AI. I don't think banning use of AI is going to work out, but certainly there has to be some clear-cut guidelines in how to use it. And there should be accountability for errors or harm caused by AI, and we should maintain human oversight to ensure its safe use. The other thing is that since the data for training the AI systems comes from, I would say, mostly Western populations, it's under the other populations, most of the populations in the world, like those from India or Africa, are underrepresented in the data. So AI has to be accessible to all, regardless of socioeconomic status, gender, ethnicity, or location. And we should make efforts to avoid bias in AI systems. In terms of promoting sustainability, we should have sustainable healthcare systems, minimize their environmental footprint. We know that many of the large language models or artificial intelligence systems have the need for huge amount of power. And in fact, some of these companies are looking towards nuclear power to power their models. So the other thing is in terms of making sure that the human health workforce is not impacted, right? People should not lose jobs because of the use of AI. Clearly, we've said that data privacy and security are paramount, and we have some frameworks already for this in terms of consent and data protection. Those should be strengthened for AI. And we should, of course, work towards reducing bias and inequity in the models. The WHO has also emphasized the need for international cooperation in regulating healthcare in AI. Let's see how this can be achieved. So all of these points are well and good and well taken, but when it comes to actual implementation of it, it may not be so easy. And I would expect that there will be very patchy and irregular implementation of these principles amongst various developers and countries. I personally found the approach of Google's principles of responsible AI quite useful. And they seem to be following this, that they want to be socially responsible, avoid creating or reinforcing unfair bias. You would have seen the flap about that Google created images which were of the founding fathers in the US who are colored people, and that created a lot of fuss. So we need to avoid unfair bias like that. They should be built and tested for safety. They should be accountable to people. We should incorporate privacy right into the design and uphold high standards of scientific excellence. I would think that there will be a lot of work done in terms of regulating AI systems as we go on. And I'm sure bodies like the FDA will start providing guidance in terms of how to use AI in healthcare. So thank you for your attention, and I hope you were able to learn something from this series of talks. Please do let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to address. Thank you for your time.